This week we're going to talk about marriage. When Kathy and I were in our 13th year, we hit a marriage crisis. Now, I knew Kathy needed help, so I arranged for her to see a counselor, but I went along with her for the first visit just to be supportive. But at the end of that visit, the counselor said that we both had problems and we both needed to be treated. Well, I knew he had made a mistake. I was fine. Kathy had the problem. But what he explained to us was that we had so much personal, emotional baggage that it was interfering with our marriage. We had to deal with our own stuff first, and then after that was resolved, then we could start talking about our couple issues. So that's what we did. I knew it was going to be easy because I was fine, but I wanted to give Kathy all the time she needed. So here's what we learned. Why do most of us get married? Well, we get married for this. We think we're going to marry the person who will meet all of our emotional needs and make us happy forever. But by the time we get back from our honeymoon, we're already frustrated because they aren't meeting our emotional needs in the way that they're supposed to. There's something wrong with them. But that all happens because of the emotional baggage we bring into our marriage. You see, when I go to weddings now, I no longer see the gown or the train or the beautiful suits or the clothes. This is what I see. When the bride and groom enter the church, I see that they're dragging huge bags with them and into their marriage. And in that bag are hurts from the past, lies that they believe about themselves and other people, and attitudes that have shaped their personality. So then when they move into their tiny apartment, not only do they have to combine their furniture, but they have to shove all this emotional baggage into that limited space. So it's crowded. And then they look like this. They sit on top of their emotional baggage because there's no room for furniture, and they think everything's fine. It's all under control. Kathy and I were like that. We thought everything was fine because we're fine. However, at the bottom of the baggage is an erupt button. It's like sitting on a volcano waiting to erupt. So sooner or later, someone's going to hit that button and you know who it is. It'll be your spouse. And how does that happen? They aren't meeting your emotional needs in the way that they're supposed to, and things explode. And of course you blame your spouse. But who really is the problem? It's not your spouse. It's you. It's your baggage. If you have baggage, you're going to be triggered sooner or later. So Kathy and I worked really hard on our baggage. I couldn't believe that it took me over a year to deal with my own baggage, and I thought I was fine. Kathy did really well too. So eventually, we came together and started to talk about our couple issues. But we didn't have much to talk about. You see, as our baggage disappeared, so did our marriage problems. We could get along great once we got rid of our baggage. So we've lived happily ever after, ever since. So the next time you hit a marriage crisis, don't be so quick to blame your spouse. Have a look at yourself. And that's not easy to do, so it's best to go and talk to a counselor because they can spot your baggage really easily. It's the best thing you could possibly do for your marriage. To live a transformed life, you need to deal with your emotional baggage. So now I want to hear from you. What are some of the ways that you've found that help unload your emotional baggage to rescue and help your marriage? And if this is your first visit here, you need to get my self-assessment guide, which comes free over 4 weeks. And to do that, just subscribe to my weekly email newsletter by filling out the form right there. So I'll talk to you again next week, and go deal with your baggage.